Hello guys, Spino here. So there is no V3 for Cyrene out yet, so I thought I'll just do something else, and I came up with this brilliant idea of making a tier list for my favorite bosses in Honkai Star Rail. And yeah, let's get into it because I have some bosses that I despise so much that I will just drop them in F tier straight. The tier list, you know how the tier list works. The S plus being my favorite boss, and the D tier being my least favorite boss because they suck. Okay, I'll be mostly ranking them based on their design, their theme, and how easy they are to beat in the end game, or how and how many teams you can use. I guess like it depends on if I like them or not mainly. But yeah, again, this is my tiers. It's just my thing, so you don't need to get offensive. And also tell me what your least favorite boss is in the comments too, because I know there's a lot of people hate Hule. I can already see that. So first, the abomination deer, like, I don't care about this thing. I'm gonna be honest. I think this deer is pretty easy. I think the only thing about this deer is, well, I think it has a taunt ability, so if you get hit by that, you get taunted and you go rage mode or something. I think that's the only annoying part about it. And also, I think it also can block your weakness. I think after a certain turns, it has a thingy blocks you from reducing toughness. A little bit annoying. Also, I think it has a pretty huge AoE attack, but as long as you destroy the tentacles that it spawns, you should be fine. I think it's vines, but as long as you destroy those vines, you should be fine. So again, it's not a hard boss. Design wise, it's just a deer. I don't care about it. It doesn't have a good theme too. It's just a boring ass boss. Even the story, I had no problem with it. It's just a deer, and I think it's good to be in. You know what? It should be on C tier. Actually, I changed my mind. I forgot this thing exists in Pure Fiction, and I hate it on Pure Fiction because the freaking counter attacks and the taunts are actually annoying in Pure Fiction. So yeah, it's a C tier boss. I hate it now I think about it. Now Argenti is the middle ground. Okay, Argenti is Argenti. He's pretty cool boss. I think the only game mode I despise him is probably on Pure Fiction again, because his spawns, the things he spawn are really hard to destroy on Pure Fiction because of the HP inflation that we have and how annoying that is. On Apoc, I think I fought him 2 or 3 times back in the days. I think he's pretty easy. There's nothing crazy gimmick he has. As long as you break his summons or spawns, you should be fine. MOC, it depends. As long as you have a AoE unit like Herda or any erudition unit, you should be fine in my opinion. The thing is, he's just Argenti. I'm not the biggest fan of Argenti. He's not a hard boss, at least. At least I like him as a boss. He's kind of cool. But again, he's not my favorite boss or anything. Sometimes I just wish there was somebody else. Especially on APOC, I'm not the biggest fan of him. It's the good thing he doesn't show up on APOC anymore, because I don't like him whatsoever. Okay, it's just a personal trait. I think I hate him because I remember pulling on him and I didn't have enough pulls, I think. Back in the days. Seriously, D tier, I don't give a crap. That eyeball is garbage. I hate this boss. This boss's gimmick is also shit. It's just a boring ass boss. I'm sorry. I think the only time I fought Sirius is in the Pure Fiction, and yeah, his gimmick is, I think he summons in a lot of minions as long as you kill it. Sirius takes damage, and that's it. It's a boring ass boss. Like, it's just an eyeball. It doesn't even have a good design. I think his theme was pretty good on the story, but outside that, it's not that crazy to me. And there it is, Hule. Okay, Hule is going to be an S tier boss. I know. He's a little bit annoying to kill. He is hard. But I think APOC version of Hule is really good. I love Hule on APOC. He's one of my favorite APOC bosses. But outside APOC, like in Pure Fiction and in MOC, he is one of my least favorite bosses. But he does have one of the best designs in my opinion. I mean, look at him. He's kind of cool though. Like, he's just cool as boss, even though I hate him on MOC and Pure Fiction. APOC is probably one of the best bosses. Not the best, in my opinion, but probably one of my favorite bosses. Also had a really good impact on the store. So yeah, he has a lower prevalence too, in my opinion. And I also like this team. I think it's pretty good, I think. Man, I don't remember that much. I think I only remember the facial boss team, but I think his team is not that bad. I have to check, actually. I'll look into that later. I forgot his name, but Apoc, he's one of my favorite bosses. Pretty easy to deal with it. You know, he has the gimmicks. As long as you play around the gimmick, pretty easy boss in Apoc. MOC, he's annoying. You know, as long as you have, but as long as you have a good sustainer like Adventurine, the new Danny, or Hyacinth, you should be fine. Also, if you have counter-attack teammates like Yunli, Clara, they have a good time because he is super fast and he also has high frequency of attacks. So as long as you can sustain, you should be fine. But the only problem with him, in my opinion, he's not S plus, is because he does not give you any buffs in battle. Like when you fight him, at least on MOC and stuff, he doesn't give you any buffs or anything. He doesn't even have any debuffs on him. So once you break him, it's not like you're gonna do 10 times more damage to him. You're still gonna do the same damage. He also has one of the highest resistance to all elements, so pretty annoying boss if you are going off element. But I think Hule, design-wise, the lore impact, I think he's still cool. Plus, his Apoc, I will say, Hule's Apoc is one of my favorite Apoc bosses, but I think people are getting tired of seeing him. But, he's still a cool boss. I think I still like him. Bronya, where do I even put Bronya? I think Bronya is good at a C tier. I mean, I don't want to talk about Bronya too much. She's just too old. It's just no relevance. No story impact, doesn't have a good theme. It's just Bronya, and probably she gets paired up with other units mainly, like Jafar and Kokolia. I think the only time I'm seeing Bronya now these days is with Pure Fiction, and in Pure Fiction she's just annoying. She just has a lot of health, and that's it. There's nothing to do with Bronya, okay? Bronya is just Bronya. I'm not going to talk about it too much. Yanqing, look, I'm gonna put Yanqing B tier. I think Yanqing is a little bit more fun or memorable boss than Bronya, at least, And he has some pretty cool moves, not gonna lie. He does have some pretty cool moves. And he also has some MOC fun. I think the only game where I see him is on MOC. Was Yanqing ever on Pure Fiction? I don't think I ever fought Yanqing on Pure Fiction. I just don't remember if Yanqing was ever playable on Pure Fiction. He probably was, but I just don't remember. So I only know him from MOC, and MOC he's just pretty easy to deal with. As long as you have a dot team or any team, you break his summons, you're just gonna do damage. You're gonna break his toughness bar pretty fast. He's pretty easy boss in my opinion. Team-wise, he doesn't even have that memorable team in my opinion. He's just a cool boss. He's just cool. He's just like, Adventurine. I mean, what am I saying? Adventurine. Adventurine is kind of cool boss. Like, Argenti. I think he's on par with Argenti. He's just a cool, decent boss. But not that iconic, in my opinion, for me to remember or to rank him higher. Now, Kokolia is straight up as I don't give a crap. She was the first boss I think we fought. Or was it like... Okay, maybe not the first boss. I think she's the first weekly boss we fought. Has one of the best theme songs still, I think. I like Kokolia's theme. It's just super cool. Especially that first fight we go. It's one of the best story fights in my opinion. I think... You know what? I think personally, I think Kokolia's fight was my favorite story boss fight so far. Followed by probably the Aqua from... What is that? Aquila? The Sky Titan from Amphor. I think those two are my favorite weekly boss fights. So from just that, I'm gonna put Kokolia there. And let's just be honest, Kokolia, she has one of the best designs. So come on, man, like Kokolia. We all wanted Kokolia to be playable, but the game just killed her. But it's fine. She is coming. I think she's gonna be semi-playable on the new game mode, so I'm kind of happy in a way. But I'm still sad. She's dead. I hope they bring her back some way. Maybe Locha goes back and brings her back. That'd be kind of cool, Locha. Now it comes to endgame modes. I think she was in every single endgame. Pure Fiction, Apoc, MOC. She was in every mode, and she's pretty killable in every single game mode. I mean, she's just easy to deal with. There's nothing hard about Kokolia. As long as you don't run a ice damage dealer, you should be fine. Like she's generic. But like I said, her story, that theme, like the impact she had, the design she has to be S tier. She's not that hard of a boss, but I have to put her. She doesn't even have any gimmicks. I think the only gimmick she has on the Apoc is like you just need to destroy the summons again that she spawns in and somehow play her on Jafar, because for some reason they paired her with Jafar. It's just annoying, but she's still a fucking cool boss. I'm gonna put her on it, so I don't give a crap. I don't know why I moved Bronya. You will be there. Now Aquila, I will say Aquila is memorable, but I have not faced her besides, story. When it comes to story, she's a cool boss. I think she had some really good moments, but I have not fought her outside APOG. You know, I have not fought her in APOG. I have not fought her on Pure Fiction. Not even on the new game mode, the Annihilation, Obliteration, something. I forgot the game mode. Outside that, I have not fought her. Do I put her just base? You know what? Nah, I'm gonna just keep her on the B. Her design is like whatever. I'm not the biggest fan of her design. It's just the music. Like the theme just carries that fight for me. Like You and Me, you know, Hyacinth music. Oh, that goes in hard. I will say that. Like I think that's the one thing that carries Aquila here. But outside that, the fight was also not bad. But you know, if I put it overall, it's the theme. It's the theme that carried me, because let's just be honest, every single weekly boss fights are just meh. Besides Cocolia, in my opinion, Cocolia, because I like Cocolia. Okay, that's the main reason. And Aquila is it's like fine. She's fine. You know, she's alright. At least she's not the worst boss I fought, in my opinion. But she's a little bit annoying because of the HP bullshit and stuff. And you know, the amount of damage you deal also depends on the amount you heal and stuff. So it's kind of annoying. You have to have a HP scaler to, you know, maximum damage to them. Because if you run with any other team, like a Fire Node team, your first meteor is going to do 0 damage because of the damage reduction that Aquila has. It's just annoying as boss. But the team is still one of my favorite teams. I'm just going to keep her on B tier. Now the dragon. Like, where do I even put the dragon? I don't want to put the dragon on the C tier. It's boring as design. It's just a dragon, but it's kind of... Okay, maybe let's put him on C, I guess. I mean, the dragon is just dragon. I think the Annihilation dragon... I forgot what they even call at this point. But the dragon, I think it's the first boss we fight. It's pretty cool. It does have some gimmick. I mean, you just need to break the weak spots of him, and then you break him, and then you just kill him. Pretty easy boss. I think they dropped him on APOG. I think APOG version of him is slightly better than the story version, right? Yeah, I prefer the APOG version than the story version, because the story version is kind of nuisance. Sometimes I don't know why. Sometimes I just don't know what to do when I fought him back in the days. I just tried to, you know, one shot him with freaking Zila back in the days. But the APOG version is kind of fun. I think you just need to break everything and you should be good. I mean, break his weak spots. I think he has 3 weak spots. Just break them, kill him, yada yada. Just a normal boss fight now I think about it. Yeah, I think it's fine. He's fine at sea. Nothing crazy of a design. It's just a dragon. It's like a robotic dragon. The attacks are not that crazy. He's just there, you know. Like, it's fine. Dream Reaver. I had to put him on S. Design cool. My favorite APOC boss. Like I have to put him here. The only reason he's not S plus is because I hate him on MOC. I despise this boss on MOC. This boss on MOC is my least favorite. After that guy, what is it called? The stupid death meme boss. You know, that thing is annoying as well on MOC too. But he's also not my favorite. Also, I also hate adventuring. Like, there's a lot of bosses I hate, but he's up here mainly because of his design. You know, I also like him on story. I think his story fight was also not that bad. It's pretty good. Had a pretty good team. His animations are of course top tier for a flipping boss. Like, come on, man. His animations are better than some of the 5-star characters that we have. So kind of cool. But he's not as plus because I hate him on MOC. He's my least favorite MOC. One of my least favorite MOC bosses. Just annoying. Even though I have a Herda, by the way. Even if I have a Herda, it's just annoying. The only reason he's there because at least he takes some self damage, not like, you know, Hule that doesn't even have that. So yeah, let's put Dream Reaver there. I think that's his name. I actually forgot his name. Jafar is just like Branya, okay? He just puts a dog shit shield and it just pisses me off. Also, now these days, Jafar can one-shot your whole team if you don't pay attention. His AoE attacks are annoying as hell. So yeah, that's the only thing he goes, and I'm just tired of seeing him in everything. I think he's in everything. He's in APOG. He's in APOG with Cocolia, but not as a main boss. But you know, he's there. He's in Pure Fiction. Just puts the dog shit shields. So I can't even damage them. And he's always now. I don't know why he's an MOC, but he's in the MOC now to shield those stupid ass fishes that I hate. But he's there. I think he's just a generic boss. He doesn't have a cool thing. He's just there. His design is also, he's just a checkboard. So don't expect much. Oh, now where do I put Sunday? I guess Sunday is B. He's not my favorite weekly boss. He's not on par with Kokolia for me, but he's fun. The only part I like about that whole fight is Pom Pom just driving the goddamn train into him. That's the only thing I like about that whole fight, because he's more like a break centric boss. So you have to have a break team to have a fun. Otherwise you will struggle a little bit. Not like that hard, but you will still struggle, right? If you don't have a break team. And I think the only other game mode I saw him... Did he ever came to APOC? I think he came to APOC one time. I remember fighting against him. His APOC boss was way too break focused. Like if you didn't have a break, you would do 0 damage. After you break him, right? Before you break him, you will do damage even with acro and stuff. But once you break him, it's like you do 0 damage to him. It's like, I don't know. It's like he has a built-in break multiplier or something. Like he only takes damage to break teams at that time. So yeah, not my favorite. She's just there, right, to fill in the role, I guess. I don't give a crap. I'm putting him in a flipping D tier. I despise that boss. I don't give a crap what others say. I hate that shit. You know what? I'm gonna make one more tier list for one more boss. I don't give a crap. How do I take it? Add a row below. Like I'm gonna make this F tier. Not for you though, for somebody else. I have one boss that I despise to the core. I'm sorry, this boss, this memory meme boss, I know this boss might look cool, it looks easy. I have personal grudge against this shit. I hate it on MOC. For some reason, my characters don't do damage to this thing. And also, him kidnapping my characters, I'm not the biggest fan. And even though he's a DOT boss, DOT is supposed to do good against this shit, I refuse to believe that. Okay, my DOT team does not do shit against him. Especially when my Kafka and my Hysolence are physical and electro, and this bastard doesn't even have both of the weaknesses on. Annoying as boss. I don't like him on story. He gave me trauma back in the days. I hate him. He can stay in D tier. Plus he's only available on MOC and the new Annihilation, Arbitration, something game mode. So, and that Annihilation mode game, this guy sucks. On MOC, he sucks. He's my least favorite, one of my least favorite bosses, so he can stay on D tier. Cool design though. Design wise, he's kinda cool, but I hate his mechanics and everything. Disgusting boss. Stay there forever. Ooh, Fantalia. Fantalia. Okay, I'm gonna put everybody on B tier at this one. Classic boss, just bring a flipping AoE unit, kill it. The only gimmick it has is the health beat drain. I think it puts your characters to half health, and you can heal it, or you have to cleanse it. I think it has a decaying healing effect or something like that. And it has one shot ability. I think it has one single one shot ability, but it's avoidable. It doesn't eliminate you. Any team can break and beat it. Like even if you bring single target damage dealers, you should be fine as long as you break the flower petals and everything. It has some gimmicks. And the epoch version of Fantalia is actually not that bad. Like you can use multiple types of teams to beat her. Also has one of the better teams in my opinion. Like her team is not bad. And design wise is Fantalia. Come on man. I don't think people can hate Fantalia. I'll put Fantalia above Sunday Boss. I think Fantalia is slightly better than Sunday Boss. But Aquila has the better team in my opinion. So yeah. I don't want to talk about that boss. I hate that boss. I hate Pollux to my core and I don't give a crap. You can defend this garbage ass boss all you want. This is the worst shield boss in Honkai Star's history and I stand by that. Especially with that stupid APOC version of it. That thing sucks balls. I don't give a crap. This thing, if you try to beat this thing in APOC, especially without a HP drain team or without Hyacinth, good luck, you need help. Like you cannot do shit. Especially the APOC. The MLC version, you can at least try some other teams and do something. But the APOC version, yeah, good luck. Like good luck. If you don't have Eidolons or if you don't have shit anything, you are struggling. If you have Eidolons, you could beat it. You could brute force it, right? The mechanics and the gimmicks will be fine. But if you don't have nothing, well, yeah, you have one. You either have to have Hyacinth on the team, or two, bring any health redrain DPS. Not any, okay, you need to bring higher, I think, what's their name, Casters or Evernight. That's the two I will recommend, because Blade, you need to have high investment on a Blade, because I tried it myself. Let me tell you, it hurts. I also tried Jing Liu, it sucked, because I don't have Hyacinth, so yeah. This is a Hyacinth custom-made boss, I hate it, I don't give a crap, I despise that shit. Ooh, I finally got to him. Yes, my king, Nikador. My favorite boss in all of Honkai Star Rail, and it's not even close. This man had story impact, had a really cool theme. He's one of my favorite bosses in MOC. Unfortunately, we never had an APOC version of him. If we did, I don't think it's going to be that hard based on how his MOC fight went, because it's pretty easy. But it's just, when you fight him, it's just cool. Plus, he has some of the best animation, he looks cool as hell. Come on, what else you need from Nikador? He is by far my favorite boss in HSR, and let's just be honest, it's not even close. It's not even close, actually. Face up. Do I care about Face Up boss that much? I'm gonna be honest, I'm just don't give a crap about Face Up boss. You can say on P tier. Like, Face Up's boss fight, for that moment, I did not felt anything while fighting Face Up. I was expecting to fight, like, I'm gonna be honest, when I fought Hule, I had some reason to fight, and it was cool. Fighting Face Up on the story made me feel nothing, I'm gonna be honest. And fighting her on the APOC end mode is also like whatever. As long as you have the teams, you can beat her. I think the best teams were like, I think DOT and Super Break, just because you had to play around the toughness of her to, you know, have better success. But you can also brute force with the crit teams. It's not like she's that hard of a boss. Her gimmick is like whatever. It's not that crazy of a gimmick in APOC. It's just standard stuff. Break the toughness, kill it. Nothing crazy. Not like Flame Reaver, you know, you kill the other, you know, if you kill 2 clones of Flame Reaver, you just get an action advantage. That's a cool mechanic. You can abuse that shit. But she doesn't have something that can abuse or anything like that. It's just a normal ass gimmick, and I don't like it. Plus, you know, again, it's Face Out with a giant ass dog behind her, and I don't give a crap about that story fight. It's such a boring ass fight, in my opinion. And Scarab's giant bug, I don't give a crap about this shit. Again, when I fought this giant ass blue beetle, I didn't give a crap. I would rather fight the Swarm than the Swarm King or Scarab King, whatever this boss is. Again, I fought this thing, nothing crazy in the story part. On APOC, has some gimmick, but again, it's just a generic gimmick. He summons in a lot of minions, you kill the minions, remove the toughness, and you kill it. As long as you have any AoE teams like Herda or any evolution unit, you should have a pretty decent time. The good thing is, even Hunt unit should have fine time as long as you kill the spawns, right? But again, generic design, just a giant ass crab, I mean giant ass beetle. I just don't really care about him whatsoever. Not my favorite weekly boss, I'm gonna be honest. Just annoying as weekly boss too. I don't even remember his theme because I don't give a crap about this boss. Do I like this character? No, I am sorry. You could say whatever you want. I despise Warog as a flipping character. As a boss, he sucks. Okay? Maybe back in the days I was okay, but I am like, if people think they're tired of seeing freaking Hule, I'm more tired of him just kidnapping my main DPS every single time. Besides Final, because Final is a literal god, so you know, Final is fine. But whenever I do an MOC clear, at least on stream, on God, he has a grudge. It's like he always goes for my main DPS. And most of the time I just run a hyper carry team against this bastard, like a Face Out team or a flipping, what's the other team? Like fucking, I forgot. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Jing Yuan back in the days, you know, and he always targets my hyper carry. Because of this, I have to reset, and maybe like I would have killed him maybe in just 2 or 3 turns, or maybe like tries. But because of him kidnapping my main DPS, I literally had to reset it for maybe 10 or 15 times just because of him just kidnapping. And I just don't give a crap. His design is just generic as hell. His movesets are generic. I just hate Swarog. The Swarm. Okay, I prefer Swarm more than the Scarab King. Again, a giant ass bug. Kill the spawns. It does have, I think it has, as long as you kill the minions, I think they put a debuff on him, so you do more damage to them. So that's pretty nice. But again, I'm just tired of seeing them everywhere, I think. Okay, not everywhere. I think the only place there are, I think on Pure Fiction and MOC. But I do hate them in a way, but they're not that hard, so just a normal ass bugs, I guess. Again, I don't even remember their theme songs or anything. I have no interest in fighting them, so I'm just gonna put them on B. Actually, you know what? You go into C tier. You're just another bug. I don't care. Okay, I will say this. His design is cool. But I'm sorry. I just don't like his gimmicks. He's just a staller. Adventuring boss is just a stalling boss. But I kind of do like him on APOC. I do like APOC adventuring. So I will put him on B. Like if he never came to APOC, I would have put him on maybe on D tier, but because APOC adventuring does exist, APOC adventuring is kind of fun. Not that fun, but I think his gimmick is exploitable. As long as you play perfectly, you could exploit that shit. The dice and everything. So I would put him on B for the moment. But on MOC, I hate him. He just stalls the whole flipping turn. Okay, he can stall one turn if you don't one-shot it. This is annoying. I'm sorry, but I just don't give a crap. Had a really good story fight, though, not gonna lie. His story fight was kind of clean, not gonna lie. Now the puppets! Okay, I don't give a crap. Puppets... Okay, their design is kind of cringe, though, not gonna lie. They don't even have any cutscene. Okay, you know what? Puppets can go into B tier too. I mean, the puppets are fine, right? They're not a hard boss or anything. The story, they didn't have any importance. Their theme sucks. They don't have a crazy animation. The only thing is, I think as long as you have a break team, you have better time against them, but I think you can use any team to kill them. They also take some self damage once you break them, or toughness, you remove their toughness, they take self damage and everything. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I think that's all. Their design is kind of cringe now I think about it. Yeah, just go there. You're just a generic ass boss. Nothing crazy about you. At least they're easy to kill. Even on the new game mode, what's that called? Anomaly Arbitration. They were pretty easy to kill actually, as long as you have a break team. Or a DOT team. I mainly clear them both with DOT and break. I didn't try a hyper carry team, but as long as you're hyper carry like Final or and actually I think you can still clear them. They're pretty easy bosses in my opinion. Now the banana troop. The banana troops. Yeah, they're B tier. They're classic. AOV. As long as you have any AOV unit, you should be fine. Break teams do well. AOV teams, I think they're just an AOV. Like you have an AOV DPS, you should be fine. Story wise, they're like, I didn't felt anything while fighting them in the story. I can tell you that much. Theme, whatever. Design, classic. Nothing crazy of a design. Animation wise, they don't have any sick combos or sick animations like the new bosses in the game. So yeah, at least they're easy to beat. On APOC, it doesn't have any gimmick. Again, it's just a toughness. You reduce their minions toughness, their total toughness gets reduced. It's just a normal ass gimmick. Nothing cool. Not my favorite boss or even close to anything. Just fine and B tier. Ooh, Lygas. I guess solid S. Is he S tier? Oof. You know what? I'm gonna put him on B tier. I will say he's close to being an S tier boss for me. Design wise, one of my favorite design, not gonna lie. Story, had a really good story, importance, had a decent team, has cool animations, but I kinda hate his one-shot ability. I'm gonna be honest, it's just kinda hurtful if you don't have any premium sustainers, man. Like, unfortunately, the only premium sustainers I own is a Lingsha. Yeah, that's my premium sustainer, by the way. Lingsha, and she cannot sustain that shit. So, I had to use Final non-sustain, because Final can tank his one-shot most of the times. As long as he's not too low, So I was using Final mainly to beat his ass, and Gallagher can also sustain him, but it's kind of hard with Gallagher because you have to time everything. Otherwise, your Gallagher's healing won't get through and your teammates will die. Gallagher won't die, but the teammates will die, and it's kind of annoying as well. But otherwise, pretty cool boss. I think it's not that hard. Like, he does give you a lot of buffs, even though he has a pretty good health and everything. on the current HP inflation meta, I think it's a pretty decent boss, but not my favorite too. I'll keep him at a solid B tier for now because I prefer the other bosses more. And the only game mode C was available is on MOC and the new anomaly. The new anomaly I didn't fought him yet. It's kind of hard because I don't have a team that's strong enough to go through it. Plus, I think he's also really good for March 7, so he's technically like a custom boss, but not really. I don't think the level as the puppets or the, or Polex at least. I prefer him over some of the bosses anyway. And we're off to the last two. Okay, let's put the both of them together. Like, I don't give a crap about these two. Generic, nothing crazy about Sam and her. I mean, Kafka. They're just there. Cool bosses. When it comes to even story, like Kafka and Sam fights didn't felt anything to me. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I felt nothing fighting them. At least Sam has that cool meteor attack. I wish Firefly had. At least her new game mode has it. That's something. But otherwise, I don't give a crap. Cool characters. But boss-wise, they're nothing crazy. Even though they're available in every single game mode. Okay, you know what? I will put Kafka above, Sam. Because I do not mind having Kafka as the Apoc boss. Kafka is kind of easy to kill, but at least she has something going for her. At least she's better than Polex, so yeah, I'll put her on B. Sam, I just don't care. Especially that freaking weakness shenanigans she has, the weakness block ability. It's kinda annoying when you're like a break enjoyer like me, I can't kill her that fast. I can't break her toughness. It's a little bit annoying, but... And I'm also not the biggest fan of her ignition state. It's just annoying as hell. When you use your skill point, you just lose health. It's just kinda annoying to see, but yeah. But otherwise, I'm okay with Sam. At least it's not like the worst boss in my opinion. So this is my boss tier list for Honkai Star Rail. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And this is the one last look at it. Again, my favorite boss is gonna be Nikador, while my least favorite boss is Polex. And I'm gonna be honest, that's gonna stay there for a long ass time, I think. Also, I did saw the upcoming bosses. The Judgment guy. Yeah, if I want to rank that stupid boss, I'll probably rank him something like S tier. I think I like him. I don't know why. He's kind of creepy. That's the one reason I'm gonna put him on S tier. Also, he has pretty good animations, and he's not that hard of a boss to kill. He has a lot of ways to deal with. So I think it's a cool boss. Probably gonna be one of my favorite bosses too. And yeah, that's it. That's the tier list for my Honkai Star Rail bosses that I actually enjoy killing or fighting. Killing is not the right word. Fighting the most, so yeah. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and bye. See you guys on another video, and have a great time, guys.